Eros here. Uh, Today we have a special guest who's an expert in treating chemical waste with Biocleaner, Dr. Jaideep. Uh, could you introduce yourself, Dr. Jaideep?
Yes, yes. Thanks a lot, Eros and the Biocleaner team, Renan and the others who are there in today's meeting for this opportunity of doing podcast and sharing my experience on the wastewater treatment, use of Biocleaner in the wastewater treatment systems, the advantages and the benefits that we have seen over the last few years. To begin, I would say I am Dr. Jaideep Dudhbhate. I am based in Pune, India. I did my PhD on the biodegradation of the industrial wastewater with special reference to the pulp and paper mill effluent. And happy to share that with the God blessing, India's first anaerobic digester for the effluent treatment in the pulp and paper industry was based on my PhD work. Okay, it's a blessing that I got, for doing that kind of a work. It was the first CSTR in a paper industry in India in 1985-87. Okay. I have over 40 years of experience in working with the industrial wastewater treatment systems, which includes the primary treatment, the secondary biological treatment with anaerobic, aerobic kind of a treatment, and the tertiary treatment for the polishing of the effluent, recycle of industrial effluents using membrane process, and also going for the zero liquid discharge kind of a system using done projects, then work system, then worked with the chemical industries for many years, during which period we also offered our services to various industries like dairy, textile, pharma, agrochemicals, food, engineering industries, all kinds of industries. You name the industry or take a particular segment. Some project or the other we have done in those industries. About 10 years back, I left my job. I was working, my final position was as a vice president of environment business at a company called Grauer and Weil, where I was working. And after around 10 years back, I left my job and started as a technical advisor, working with companies, end user companies like treat their wastewaters, then helping them in improving their wastewater treatment systems, designing plant for them for treatment of effluent, for recycle of treated effluent, for going for the ZLDs. I also work with the OEM companies as a domain expert. OEM companies means the contractors, okay, who occasionally need help in the designing and in troubleshooting of the plants which are operating. In these last 10 years, I was through my friends, I got introduced to the Biocleaner, and my experience with Biocleaner has been excellent. Okay. Initially, when I started interacting with Biocleaner, I myself was a bit skeptical. How come this process works without producing the sludge? Okay, but seeing is believing. So I went to Manila with one of my colleagues, met there Mr. Eros and his colleagues in Manila. We visited a couple of plants. One was a resort treating domestic sewage, and the other was a de-inking plant. Were a beautiful plant. Okay, let me tell you, those were beautifully designed and operating plants. So after coming back to India from visit to Philippines, I started doing jar testing. BioCleaner was very supportive in giving me a couple of BioBuddies. Initially came 5 and started doing using them at various customers like like to speak about my experience of using BioCleaner at one of a major chemical factory in India, which is located south 150 kilometers south of Mumbai, which is on the west coast of India. okay, you can ask questions and we can discuss about the use of biocleaner
Can
in
you tell us more about Anshul chemicals? What do they do? What
example of
there's
chemical wastewater
experience?
treatment.
Yes. Yeah, but
Yeah,
Anshul itself, what
I
does
will
it
tell you.
produce?
See, I'll give a brief background on Anshul and our interaction with Anshul using biocleaner. Recollect in 2017 or 18, you had participated in IFAT India. Okay, I was during one of those days, one of those 3 days, Mr. Satpute of Anshul, who is currently the executive director, he visited our stall and I had an interaction with him. He knew that I was in my earlier assignment was working at Sudarshan Chemicals in Roha because this Anshul Chemicals or Anshul Innovative Chemistry, their factory is at Roha Industrial Estate. In that, we discussed about the biocleaner, and I told him that we can do the laboratory trials. So that is where he got hooked. He said, yes, he's open for doing a lab trial. So sometime in 2018 or early, late 2018, we did a BioBuddy trial. And I had shared earlier the photograph now. In the meantime, Anshul is making amines as one of the major products. Tertiary amines is what they manufacture. The effluent has got a high COD going up to 10 to 15,000. The TDS or the total dissolved solids or salts are current they have existing in one of the earlier plant. They have a conventional biodegradation system. So initially, they wanted to compare the biocleaner technology with the conventional technology. So to begin with that, I had suggested them to first do a laboratory jar testing, which is very important. The jar testing in any industrial waste, with industrial wastewater you are dealing with, whether it is chemical, pharma, dairy, agrochemical, whatever wastewater, we always recommend doing a laboratory trials. Even in the past 5 6 years that I am working with BioCleaner, we have done a couple of textile projects, we have done a couple of chemical industry projects. Today, though, our focus is on Anshul chemical industrial wastewater, but all those jar testing, whatever installations we have, where I have been associated BioCleaner, we always started by doing jar testing. Clear few doubts that the end user has. One, that one of the doubt is whether it really does not generate any biosludge. So seeing is believing. So seeing the results in the yes, array, there is no sludge generated. Yes, there is a COD reduction. Yes, there is an improvement in the treated effluent quality. So this or found out by doing jar testing. So the first step that Anshul did was the jar testing using BioBuddy setup. Renan, can you project that BioBuddy photograph? Hello?
Yes.
Yes.
So the first step is whether it is or you take any industrial wastewater, you should do a jar testing because jar testing would give you, it will clear many doubts that one has. Okay. In this photograph, on the top side, you can see one small biobody, and there is at the bottom side, you can see another biobody, which we had opened to clean it inside because it was full of muck. While doing jar testing, the muck in the effluent can block the unit, test unit, laboratory test unit, so you need to clean it out. But this is the setup, and this is a very miniature unit which does the laboratory testing, beautiful testing, okay, all the installation that we have done this testing so that customer can see for himself that he's achieving COD reduction. Parallelly, he's not generating any sludge. So even in Anshul, they were very impressed with this. But still, because this was like first of its kind installation in India, the customer wanted to be a doubly sure. So they asked us whether we can do it a semi-plant scale kind of a trial. So we did trials with what is one of the units called as fever jockey chem5 with chem5 bacteria, and it was done at the site of the customer. So this is the aeration tank, and in which this was the semi-pilot scale or plant scale is about 2 kl tank, 2000 liter tank with the aeration facility. And on the left-hand side, the left-hand wall of the tank, you can see one biocleaner unit which we have kept horizontally. There is a bottom plate there to protect the unit from the aeration. It should not hit the media inside. So to protect the media inside the feeder tube, we have put a bottom plate with that SJ unit. So this trial was done at Anshul for over a period of 1 year.
Wow.
Okay, and that was the time then the management decided to go ahead with the biocleaner at the new plant. Okay, and in during the pilot trial, what were the salient observations? Okay, the first salient observation was it really did not produce sludge. There was a sludge generation. I'll not say zero sludge. Some sludge was generated. Say example, conventionally, say you are generating 100 sludge. Conventionally, if you are generating 100 sludge, then this was generating less than 10 sludge. So over a 90% reduction in sludge. Second important point, very important point that the company understood was they could double the load of COD on the system. To explain it better, I will put it like this. For example, in a conventional plant, I can take, say, 1 kg COD on the biological reactor per cubic meter of biological volume. Say 1 kg COD per cubic meter of the aeration tank volume. If that is, it's an example, take it as an example. It may be different for each effluent. So in this case, it was 1 kg COD per cubic meter of tank volume. With biocleaner, I could go up to 2.5 kg COD per cubic meter of the tank volume. You know what this means? Does this mean? This means that my aeration tank volume can be reduced by more than half. And this is exactly what we have done with the biocleaner installation at Anshul. See, like I said earlier, they have a very high COD of 10,000. They have a very high TDS of up to 40,000, 35,000 to 45,000. So average, say 40,000 TDS. Even with such a harsh effluent, we were able to reduce the design tank volume by 50%. So you can imagine the saving in the cost of civil construction. You can imagine the saving that they achieve in the space. Meaning, if you have a space constraint, BioCleaner is the technology of choice to go ahead with, because it not only ensures that the space required is less, it also ensures that you are passing the requirements as may be put to you by the regulatory authorities. This particular factory of Anshul is a zero liquid discharge. Okay. So for them, it doesn't matter whether you get a treated COD of 250 or 500 or 700, because anyway, after treatment, the treated effluent goes into a recycle system with the RO reject going for the evaporator. And the condensate that comes out of it goes back in the process testing. So this was the pilot testing done. And on the basis of pilot testing, when the requirement came to us, because we work like I said earlier, our company also does work for designing of the greenfield project. Okay, we work as design engineers, provide detailing of the engineering, we provide drawings for the customer to execute the plant in-house, and we can support the customer all the way through, right from the design stage to the commissioning and monitoring and maintenance stage. Okay, all that we can do here. So, based on this pilot plant result, we went for a full-scale plant where my conventional aeration tank volume, which would have been say X amount, the with the biocleaner, I could reduce it down to 0.5x. So this is a picture of the aeration tank that the Anshul has. It's a part of their ETP. The ETP consists of a primary pH adjustment, removal of settling to remove suspended solids, the clarifier overflow going for the biological treatment. There are two tanks, aeration 1, aeration 2, a bioreactor 1, bioreactor 2, and working beautifully, very low sludge, compared to conventional system. Renan, I have shared one picture of comparative sludge. Yes. You can see on the left hand side of your screen, you have the biomass from the aeration tank of a conventional system. And on the right hand side, you can see the biomass from the aeration tank of a biocleaner system. You can see it's almost a 90% reduction in the sludge volume in the aeration tank. Okay. The system is the commissioning of the installation and commissioning is very easy. The commissioning is quite quick. Okay, we could do it here within 10 to 15 days, or you can say a couple of weeks, the plant was commissioned. If this technology, but one point that we learned here is if we are going to use this kind of units for before installing the system in the aeration tank, it would be helpful to have some reduction in the sludge amount in the aeration tank so that again the commissioning with biocleaner becomes very quick and easy. So here after the Anshul is very happy with the system, the sludge has reduced, they are passing, they are getting after using the biocleaner technology because they have one old plant where they are using the conventional to that ETP and RO, the biocleaner ETP followed by RO and followed by evaporation is working beautiful. This picture, particular picture is showing the biocleaner OS 100 unit, which inserted in the tank 0.5 meters below the water surface. I have taken it out for taking this picture. Otherwise, it is inside the water. And this is put in near the aeration tank inlet launder. Okay, the white tube that you see is basically the aeration tube, which is there coming from the linear blower. Okay, and the diffuse aeration or the dissolved oxygen is in a aeration blower, which is separate and not seen in this picture. So for chemical wastewater, but this could be applicable across segment, whether you are dealing with the paper industry, whether you're dealing with the textile industry or any other industry. You can have higher loadings on the aeration tank. The sludge will definitely reduce. By how much will be based on the jar testing that you need to carry out jar testing before giving any commitment.
So, Dr. J, uh, this the
And
treatment.
overperformance is a better option. Yeah.
Yes, what was the COD
Hello.
of the effluent of the COD of the effluent? Would
Yeah.
you?
The COD of the effluent at the aeration tank inlet, okay, because of the confidentiality of the data at different stages, I will only share what is relevant to our system. The COD at the aeration tank inlet is or was is about 10,000. The designed COD is about 10,000. They are actually getting a COD between 7,000 to 10,000.
And what was the result?
The treated COD conventional process gives a 90% reduction. So 10,000 comes to about 1. System we are getting between 500 to 700. In any case, in any case, the important point is this goes for the recycle through RO systems. So there is no discharge, okay? There is no discharge. So the treated effluent goes through a RO system. The RO permeate goes back to the recycle, and the RO reject goes to the evaporator and dryer.
Okay.
So we are achieving better results in terms of CO2 reduction compared to the conventional system. So it doesn't matter whether your COD is 500 or whether it is 250 or whether it is 1000. Of course, lower the COD means better RO performance, and this is what they are getting in this, where our COD with Biocleaner is ranging from 500 to 700,
Okay.
whereas in conventional they are getting it about 90% reduction, meaning about 1000. Performance at 1000 and RO performance at say average 600, there is an improved performance in the RO if there is a COD is lesser.
Okay. So so the clients, are they happy?
Yes, absolutely, absolutely. We have taken quite a few of our customers, okay, to visit the site, and they have been the Anshul has been very kind enough visits. We are also planning with one more visit in coming days, and hopefully that's also a chemical factory, but it's a pharmaceutical, and let's see how it goes.
Okay. So thank you, Dr. Jaideep. Uh, we're going to go ahead. And so if anybody wants to get in touch with Dr. Jaideep, his number and email will be there. And if you have any wastewater problems in chemical or otherwise, whether it's in India or outside of India, Dr. Jaideep. Yeah.
Yes, we are always there to support any of your representatives, your customers, for any of the design issues or troubleshooting across the world. Okay, no problem. We can help them with that.
Well, thank you, sir.
Thanks, thanks a lot.
Thank you. Bye bye.
Great